Oh. Skip.
Next slide. Next slide.
Press it like 5 times. Just keep going. What?
Do we have to escape and reset?
I definitely.
Well, then
Hey, don't mess the slide up.
for those of you watching live out there, the name's Aaron. Uh-oh.
Put some errands in the chat.
Yeah. Your name is Karen, and you'd like to shout out Aaron.
Okay. Just one quick moment.
Oh man, we're getting to see.
Behind
It's the best.
our matrix.
Got all this stuff for coaching.
Oh, you should just run, just, okay. All right.
Next slide.
In what felt like 20 weeks in the last 20 seconds. Okay. Number 10, the work before the reward. So, buddy, I'm gonna need to
I
run.
think you gotta click the mouse.
All right, so I'm just gonna read it, and then I have some thoughts after reading it. So, Sharran says, you don't have to feel motivated to do great work. F your mood, follow a plan. Earmuffs. Okay. Most people think you feel great, then you do the work. So a lot of people sit around waiting to feel better or feel good about it before they do it. Inevitably, a lot of people just don't do it. Actually, you do great work, and then you feel great as a result. One of my mentors, when I was, 1 year into the business, I actually was thinking that maybe real estate wasn't for me. I was 1 year in. Sold a lot of business. And I was like, I'm just not passionate about it. And he told me, he's like, hey, you need to stop and slow down for a second. You need to realize that passion comes from gaining the result and seeing it manifest over time, not before. And so this is the same thing, like wanting the feeling of motivation prior to doing the thing typically isn't going to happen. So you don't feel motivated before working out. The workout is what actually creates the motivation, the endorphins, and the accomplishment. Does anybody work out in the morning? Raise your hand if you work out in the morning. Cool. Who gets out of bed in the morning and is super jacked and excited to go work out? Okay, everybody raised their hand that they work out, but nobody raised their hand that they were excited. When does the excitement typically show up? For Chase, it's when it's done, because yours are hard. Your workouts are hard. Who else works out like Chase, where it's like, I'm not excited until it's over? Thank you. But you guys still do it. You've basically reconciled with the fact that it's not going to feel good at the beginning. The work always comes first. The feelings always come second. So what this is saying is motivation is a lag measure. Action is the lead measure. So action is the thing that we actually have to lean into. If you sustain for enough consecutive days, your results stop being random and start becoming pretty formulaic. Formulaic. I should have read that before we remember this. All right, so I'm going to actually give you guys some hacks because, and then I'm going to open it up for comments. Because I actually think that there's a way to create the motivation ahead of time if you're intentional about it and you're smart about it. So, number one, gamify. What do I mean when I say gamify?
Create a reward for yourself.
Create a reward for yourself. So Chase and I talk a lot about the Y triangle, right? So that Y triangle has little tiny wins along the way. It has little tiny punishments along the way as well. So this is a way for you to intentionally reflect on something before the activity happens to help give you that jump start. Okay? Number 2 would be assigning a meaning to goals. What do I mean by that? Assigning meaning to goals. Anybody know? Who's got a guess? What do you think I mean?
Instead of just, trying to reach a certain dollar amount, it's like, if I reach this dollar amount, I can do that with this,
Love it. Okay. So he said instead of just assigning a dollar amount as your goal, assigning a meaning to that dollar amount, what that dollar amount will do for you. Okay, so I was in a coaching conversation earlier today, and we were talking about, this person said that one of their goals was to go on vacation with their family. I said, okay, that's good. That's a good meaning. But then I said, all right, how many vacations, let's figure out like how many vacations you get to take with this person based on the amount of time you get to spend with them, right? So like time is finite. You have X amount of time with this person, which means that you have, let's say they do the math, they haven't done the math yet, but let's say they have 10 more vacations with this person, right? Because they maybe do one every other year. I'm just throwing out a random number, but if we know that they're going to do 10 vacations with this person, and one of their goals is to earn the money to go on the vacation with this person, does that increase the meaning of that vacation? Does it add more purpose to that vacation? So that's what I mean by assigning meaning to the goal. Don't just say I need to make the money because I want to pay off debt. Well, what's debt going to do for you? What's being debt-free going to do for you? Visualize what that actually means.
Well, Brent, just two things on that is, like, who does it impact? And that question goes both ways. So when you hit this goal, who does it impact? If you don't hit this goal,
who does it impact? Yeah, a little hack, vacation. If let's say you have a, Ridge, how old are you? Okay, Ridge is 8. So let's say I have a little 8-year-old at home, and I say, hey Ridge, if I do X, then we get to go to Disneyland. Who's gonna, what do you think Ridge is gonna say to me every day when I get home?
Did you
Did you do it? Right, so you can invite the who into the goal, not only assigning meaning, but then assigning accountability to it as well. You think it's gonna just be a little easier to push past that, I don't really feel like it? Okay, number 3, this is my favorite, public accountability. So, if we all have something that a lot of people don't have in real estate. We have a core group of people that we all are invested in each other's success. Not a lot of real estate agents have that. Not a lot of salespeople have that. We're actually lucky in that. So you guys can leverage that by going into the accountability chat and telling the group what it is you plan on doing. And then saying what you actually did. The second you make it public to people, it actually makes the hump of doing the thing that much easier. All right, so what are you guys hearing? When you see this, and when you see this, what's going through your heads? Oh, click, where's the clicker? Bright bunch today.
I think about just, I love, oh, jeez. Hello. So I start with, like, let's talk about the workout thing. I start with the vision board. I have that in my closet where my workout clothes are, because I walk in my closet in the morning, see that, I'm like, all right, getting dressed. I know, I signed up for a class, so I know I've got accountability there. My husband's my accountability partner with that. And then when it comes to work, I mean, literally I have all of you guys, and it's just, we really are lucky. And if you don't have that, you know, I've talked about my worst year in real estate, and that's when I worked from home by myself with no one, you know, around me, and had my worst year ever. So it's just accountability, but having something visual if you're a visual person to keep yourself going. And I mean, make a chart. You guys all follow Tara, you know, she has that whiteboard that she checks things off because it feels good to check stuff off, and it's something that kind of motivates you to keep going so that you have something to mark off at the end of the day.
Yeah, and 100% agree. What's interesting that you said is you already have your workout gear laid out. Think about this, like if you committed to the micro decision, then it doesn't feel as heavy. So her micro decision is all I have to do is get my gym clothes on in the morning, and then the rest happens. What if it was, hey, I'm just gonna log into the CRM and make one dial. That's your only commitment for the day, I gotta log into the CRM and make one dial. And then the rest happens after that. Like doing the other commitments, it's normally the first thing, right? The action of is the thing that is the hump, but after taking action, it just flows. So micro decision, that's number 4 on my list now. Thank you.
One of the other things that has helped me recently is the book that we're reading, the Ed Milet book, and he talks about time and breaking it down into like 3 or 4 different sections of the day and calling it a day. So I've got like my morning day, my work morning day.
Yeah.
So I have my before work morning day, my work morning day, my afternoon work day, and then my after work evening day.
Okay.
And
How does that help? Like what?
it's
what are you
just like
experiencing?
I can batch the things that I need to do into those days so that I'm just focusing on that stuff. So like my morning day is my pretty much almost all of my savers. So my silence, my affirmations, my visualization, my exercise, I read or I listen while I'm either driving to or in from the gym or whatever, and then you know, my morning work is lead gen, figuring out, you know, follow-ups, and I batch different things for builders or for coaching the agents or whatever. You know, I've got all those things figured out. And then my afternoon is typically appointments, one-on-ones, or, you know, doing some more lead.
Does that sound systematized and intentional?
Yeah.
It does, right? How often are you thinking about the fact that you don't want to do something? Does it?
Not often.
Because you systematized it.
Yeah.
You
I'm like, nope,
intentionally,
just gotta do it.
yeah, you just gotta do it.
Yeah.
And then the reward is the motivation.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. What else you guys hearing?
I think I'd just point out, she's also the #1 producer in the office too. So maybe if you just do what she's doing, maybe some of that will rub off.
Yeah.
That's a micro decision. I'm just gonna do it, Kara does.
Ooh, actually, you just gave me number 5.
Oh, number 5.
Number 5 hack is identity. Identity, yeah, whatever. If you can change your identity instead of I have to make calls to I'm a person who contacts 15 people a day or whatever the number is. That's who you are innately, then that actually will help you get over the hump as well. So just be Kara. Just say, I'm someone that's like Kara.
I'm also someone who doesn't like to do the same thing every day, so this is, it literally, I fought it for so long that I finally am like, God damn it, I just gotta do it.
She's someone, you were someone who didn't like to do the same thing every day. So who are you now?
I'm someone who is intentional about what I do every day.
Ooh, I love that. Sweet.
It kind of relates to this. We had a live coaching last week with David on daily growth. I don't know how many, I think quite a few heard that. I was breaking it down to a different coaching client earlier today because we were setting his goals, but it's too close. So when you start talking about your own business, your own life, you have all these excuses and reasons and issues and friction. But when you listen to someone else, you know, they don't have any of that. So it's easier to see. But what happened in that coaching call, Brant, is I was like, hey, you know, what's your goal? What's your reality? Like, okay, what are you actually doing? He's like, well, I'm calling no one. Like, okay, cool. I'm like, what do you want to do? He's like, well, I went to Bold and they say make 20 contacts a day, so that's what I want to do. And I was like, oh no. Because I backed up because I'm like, okay, I can't let this guy fail in front of all these people. And if you guys want to be a person who works out, for example, or lead generates, for example, you have to win. You have to win. So what I did is I backed him off big time to like, what is something you can do every day and you will not fail, period. And he settled on 5 contacts. And there's a couple points there that I want to point out to you guys is like, you don't have to be Kara today, right? You don't have to. You can just start to do things that someone like Kara does, and then you can build on that, right? Like if you want to get big muscles or something, like you can't just go lift the massive weight that the person with big muscles is lifting. You guys get that? You gotta work your way up to that. It's no different here. So 2 things had to take place. One was like, I'll wrap this up and let you finish. One was like, okay, do you brush your teeth? He said yes. I said, do you brush them every day? He says yes. I said, do you do, how many times a day? He's like, twice a day. I'm like, do you have to be reminded? Do you have it on your calendar? Does someone have to tell you to do it? What do you think is the answers are to all that? Okay, probably the same answers as all you guys, right? But when you were Ridge's age, did you have to be told? Yeah, have you ever had to be told to brush your teeth? Yeah. Exactly. That's just the way it works, and then it becomes a habit. And now, if you don't brush your teeth, you're like, oh my gosh, I have to brush my teeth, right? You forget your toothbrush on a travel trip or something. You're like, oh my God, you're freaking out. That can be the same thing with this, with lead generation. So for David, hopefully he continues to build on it, but on the identity thing, like the feeling good comes after, right? That's one thing. He gets on really early, so him and I chat. There's maybe 1 or 2 of you on there with us, but I'm like, hey, how's your calls going? He's like, yep, I hit it. And I said, how do you feel when you're done? He's like, I feel amazing. But I didn't ask him, how do you feel before you did it, but I think we all know the answer. Right?
By the way, if he set his goal, or initially at 20, and he was only hitting 5, how do you think he would feel?
Failure.
Yeah, you feel like a failure. It's the same. Working out is a great example because anybody who's like, all right, I haven't worked out in years, I'm gonna go 7 days a week, 3 hours a day. Like, they're done in week 2.
Day 4, you're
Day
like
4.
so sore,
They're done.
can't get up.
But if someone goes and commits to 5 days a week, I'll use Matt as an example actually. He's like, I don't have time. Whatever his excuse was, you know, whatever reason he gave, he didn't feel like it. And I said, great, but do you want to be someone who works out? And he said, I want to be healthy. Yes, I want to be healthy. Okay, well, if you do 5 push-ups a day, you're now someone who works out. So, do you think like he felt like he won when he did his 5 push-ups a day? That's going to get a better result, by the way, than saying, hey, go work out 7 days a week for 3 hours a day. It's going to give him a way better result. What are you doing now?
100 push-ups and 200 sit-ups, pretty much.
Over how many weeks? Is that every day?
It's every day.
I don't know how many weeks.
No, you mean you do that every day?
Yeah.
Now he's doing 100 push-ups a day and 200 sit-ups, you said?
I just switched up the ab workout. But
Okay. Yeah. So 200 core, some kind of a core. And this all started with 5 push-ups a day. Because he's someone who works out. So,
Do you push-ups on your knees?
No, I don't count those.
why?
Oh, heck yeah, you
Yeah,
got
That's for some weak hoes. I
Those
like
are
weak.
weak codes. She says that's weak codes.
Did you just call me a weak hoe?
I would start with being a weak code before you work yourself up to being a normal hoe.
Very true. I agree.
Yeah, but I think that's a great point of like really exposing limiting beliefs.
Yes.
Like we tend to assign beliefs of like, well, but like doing 5 push-ups, that's not really working out. That's a limiting belief. Because it is. Doing push-ups from your knees is working out. Like it's a rung that gets you closer to the next thing. and then eventually you're doing them different.
Well, I can tell you, every guy has felt this. You walk into the gym and you see some buff dude lifting big weights, and you're like, I'm not gonna lift these sissy weights.
You're like,
And you're like, I can't lift the big ones, but I ain't lifting those ones. Those are for bitches. But I mean, yes, all the guys in here are like,
No,
damn,
I do
that's
that too.
me. Like,
I'm a girl and I still do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so here's what I'll finish with to get you guys thinking
Benching the
about
bar
this.
yesterday.
Like, we spend so much time
It's better than
talking about things for you guys to take action on. We spend so much time talking about what you should be doing in order to find success in your world. So what I want you to do is I want you to journal and say, what is one micro action that I can assign to something that I should be doing that I'm not currently doing? Or so that way you can shift your identity. You can become the person that does X. So I didn't see anybody write anything down except for maybe Rebecca. I don't know if she's scribbling or writing it down.
Can
John
I
did.
add something real
Yes.
quick? Because I think this goes to identity. And it's, in addition to what he just said, just make sure it's something you're gonna win at. Because part of your identity is now, I'm a winner. You guys understand?
Yep.
So you guys are now someone who wins. Even if it's like, I'm going to speak with one person today. And you said you're gonna do it and then you did it, now you're a winner. And you build on being a winner, guys, you will definitely be a lot further than you think you are in a very short period of time.
I'm gonna leave you guys with this. Self-confidence comes from honoring commitments to yourself. That's where it comes from. So all he's suggesting is make a commitment that you can keep, which will increase your self-confidence and your ability to do more in that particular area. Make a commitment. So everybody thought about it. I don't know if anybody wrote anything down. A lot of mental notes going on out here. But write down what is a micro commitment that you can make on the thing that you should be doing that you're not doing, that you can win at every single day. And then become that. That's how you're going to become that. So.
You have something?
Oh, I just thought of something that, a micro change that I can make is making a habit of opening the CRM at the first thing I do every day. Cause I usually like dink around and check my email and then I get around to opening it eventually. But if I can just make that first thing I look at every day, I think it'll make a big difference.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a hack. And so anybody that doesn't do this, you should create a bookmark folder that says daily launch. You open up that bookmark folder, it should be the links that you open up first thing in the morning. So it should be a link to your CSU dashboard so you can see what you're doing, what your business looks like. It should be a link to your CRM. And it should be a link to whatever else you need to open right when you first get in. That should be the thing that you go to. So you don't have to think, oh, I need to open my CRM. You just think, I open my daily launch. Daily launch folder, click those 3 links, and you're up and running. So that should be something you guys, if you don't do currently, it should be something you have on your bookmark bar that you do every day. Do your daily launch. So, cool. Anything else? Anybody else have any burning shares? Rich doesn't have anything. Mike.
On your, just on your bookmark thing, a little text tip for everybody. You can set a home tab group so that when you open Chrome or whatever, it'll open like 3 pages, 5 pages, 7 pages. So when I come in the morning, I open Chrome and there's like 10 pages that automatically open for me.
I did not know that.
Yeah, home page group.
Aaron, you
figure
hear
it out.
Yeah, I heard
that? That's awesome. Sweet. All right. Let's move to gratitude. Who or what are you grateful for? Let's see. Who do we want?